The billionaire taps the hood once, then smirks in front of cameras, guests, and a laughing crowd. He says loud enough for everyone to hear, "This thing isn't worth the gas inside it." Security steps closer as a tired single father quietly reaches for the keys. People record. Someone laughs. Then his 6-year-old daughter suddenly steps in front of him, holding the car with both hands. Her voice shakes. "If it's worthless, why did your people try to buy it 3 times?" The crowd goes silent. The billionaire's smile disappears. His eyes lock onto something hidden beneath the dashboard. The father says nothing. He simply starts the engine. The billionaire takes one step forward and says, "Stop him." Cut. 7 days later. The auction opens at $8 million. The father arrived late enough that people noticed, not because he wanted attention, because his car couldn't move faster. The old faded sedan rolled slowly through the entrance of the private collector event, engine humming unevenly, paint worn thin in places where years had erased the shine. Around it stood rows of polished machines, mirror-finished bodies, custom lighting, silent security, owners dressed like they belonged in magazines. Conversations paused, heads turned, phones appeared. A few people smiled, not the kind that welcomes someone. The father parked near the edge and shut the engine off carefully, almost respectfully. For a moment he stayed seated. His daughter leaned forward from the back. "Did we come to the wrong place?" He looked around once. No, she looked at the cars outside. "They all look expensive." He smiled a little. "They probably are." She pointed at theirs. "Then ours looks brave." That made him laugh once under his breath. He stepped out first and opened her door. She jumped down, holding his hand immediately. She was 6, small backpack, worn shoes, serious eyes that somehow noticed everything. People watched them walk, not because they recognized them, because they clearly didn't belong. A man in a black suit standing near registration looked at the car, then at the father. "You're delivering something?" The father shook his head. "No." "Registration." The man blinked. "For display." The father nodded. The man looked back at the sedan again, like waiting for a joke. "What category?" "Classic." That got attention. Someone nearby laughed. Another guest turned. The registration worker typed something, frowned, then looked again. "Owner name?" The father gave it. The worker found it. His expression changed slightly. His eyes moved to the screen again, then to the father, then back. He printed a pass. "You're approved." The father accepted it. No explanation. No reaction. They started walking toward the exhibition area. His daughter looked up. Why did he look surprised? The father adjusted the pass on his wrist. Maybe he expected someone else. She accepted that answer. Children usually do. But she looked back once at the registration desk. The employee was already on the phone. Inside, the event felt less like a car show and more like a performance. Luxury displays, collectors talking in quiet, confident voices, photographers moving between polished vehicles, people discussing values that sounded unreal. The father kept walking. His daughter stayed close. Eventually, they reached their assigned section. A narrow space. Not central, not hidden, just visible enough. He parked, opened the hood, looked inside, closed it again. His daughter watched. "You always do that." He looked at her. "What? You always check even when nothing changes." He looked at the car. "Habit." She nodded like that made perfect sense. Then she sat on the curb and drew circles in dust with her shoe. People passed. Some slowed. Some stared. Most kept walking. A few whispered. The father ignored all of it until the energy around the event shifted. No announcement. No music. Just movement. People suddenly turning. Phones lifting. Security repositioning. Someone important had arrived. Luxury SUVs stopped near the entrance. Doors opened. Out stepped the billionaire. Perfect suit. Controlled smile. Surrounded by assistants and cameras, he moved through the event like he owned every square meter. People gathered instantly. Hands extended. Names called. Photos taken. The father noticed, then looked away. His daughter didn't. Is he famous? A little. Do famous people know everybody? No, she thought. Then why does everybody act like they do? He didn't answer. The billionaire moved through displays casually, inspecting, commenting, laughing. Then his eyes stopped on the old sedan. He slowed. One assistant whispered something. The billionaire looked again, then changed direction. Toward them. The crowd followed. The father noticed late. The billionaire stopped a few feet away, looked at the car, walked around it once, touched the roof lightly, looked at the father. "Yours?" The father nodded. The billionaire smiled, not kindly. "This got approved?" Small laughs around them. The father stayed calm. "Yes." The billionaire looked around dramatically. Interesting standards. More laughter. Phones appeared. His daughter stepped closer to her father. The billionaire crouched slightly to her level. Sweetheart, he pointed at the car. Did your dad tell you this is special? She nodded immediately. Yes, that amused him. Oh, she pointed at her father. He fixes things. Some people smiled. The billionaire stood again. He looked at the father. Mechanic. The father nodded once. The billionaire smiled wider. Of course. He stepped toward the front of the car, tapped the hood once, then said loudly, "This thing isn't worth the gas inside it." Laughter, real this time. People recording. Someone clapped. Someone repeated the line. The father looked at the car, not angry, not embarrassed, just quiet. That somehow made people laugh more. The billionaire turned toward the crowd. This is why sentiment destroys judgment. He pointed casually. People see memories. He looked at the father. Markets see reality. The father finally spoke. Maybe. The billionaire looked surprised. That's it. The father shrugged. It's your opinion. That answer changed something. The billionaire expected defense, excuses, emotion. Instead, he got nothing. He smiled thinner. You came here to sell? The father nodded. The billionaire laughed. How much? The father looked at the car, then said, I haven't decided. People reacted instantly. Someone said impossible. Someone laughed louder. The billionaire looked amused. Let me save everyone time. He reached into his jacket, pulled out cash, held it out. 1,000. Laughter again. His daughter looked confused. The father didn't move. The billionaire smiled. That's generous. No answer. Security shifted closer. Camera zoomed. The daughter looked up at her father. Are we selling? He crouched beside her. Not today. She nodded, then looked at the billionaire and asked softly, why do you want it if it's bad? The crowd quieted a little. The billionaire smiled. I don't. She frowned. Then why are you trying to buy it? A few people looked at each other. The billionaire laughed. Lesson. She looked confused. He stood, turned away. Then one assistant leaned close and whispered something into his ear. The billionaire stopped, turned back, looked harder at the car, walked toward the windshield, bent slightly, looked inside. His expression changed for less than 1 second, then disappeared. But the father saw it. The daughter saw it too. The billionaire stepped back, smiled again, too quickly. He looked at the father. 1,500. The crowd laughed again, but smaller now. The father shook his head. No, the billionaire smiled. Emotional value. No, the billionaire tilted his head. What then? The father looked at him and answered quietly. It's not for sale today. Silence. Small. Unexpected. The billionaire's eyes stayed on him. Then he smiled again. Your mistake. He turned to leave, then stopped without turning back. He said, if you change your mind, talk to my office before someone convinces you this thing matters. Then he walked away. The crowd followed, but not all of them. A few people stayed, watching. One older collector approached slowly, looked at the car, looked at the father. Interesting. The father nodded politely. The man handed him a card. If you sell, call first, then left. Another person came. No introduction. Just looked, asked, how long have you owned it? The father answered. The person nodded, left. Another came, asked to see under the hood. Father refused. The person smiled strangely, walked away. His daughter looked up. Why do people keep asking? The father looked at the car. I don't know, but he did know one thing. People didn't act like that over worthless things. Hours later they left. No sale. No announcement. No explanation. He started the engine. It turned over immediately. As they pulled toward the exit he noticed something. One black luxury SUV behind them. Then another, following. Not close, not hidden, just enough. His daughter looked behind. Are they coming with us? He checked the mirror. Maybe, maybe not. Then she said quietly, Dad. He looked at her. She pointed at the glove compartment. There's a paper in there. He frowned. There wasn't before. He opened it at the next stop. Inside one business card. No name. No logo. Only one line. Do not sell before you check under the dashboard. The father stared at the card for several seconds. Plain white. No company. No handwriting style he recognized. Only that sentence. Do not sell before you check under the dashboard. His daughter leaned across the seat. What does it mean? He turned the card over. Blank. He folded it once and slipped it into his pocket, probably someone joking. She looked at him. You say that when you don't know. He looked at her and smiled faintly. She wasn't wrong. He started driving again. The black SUV stayed behind them for another few minutes. Then one turned, then the other. Eventually the road emptied, but the feeling stayed. When they reached home, evening had already settled. Their place was small, a narrow rented garage attached to a modest house, tools organized carefully, nothing expensive. Nothing wasted. The car went into the garage first, like always. His daughter stepped out and immediately touched the hood. Good job. She did that every time. As if the car could hear, the father locked the garage and carried groceries inside. Dinner was simple. She talked. He listened. She described the rich people, the shiny floors, the funny shoes. Then she suddenly stopped eating. Dad, he looked up. Were they laughing because we're poor? He put his fork down. He answered carefully. No, she waited. He continued. People laugh when they think they already understand something. She looked down, but they didn't know us. He nodded. That's usually when it happens, she thought quietly, then asked, did it hurt? He looked at her. What? When he said our car was worthless. He smiled once. No, she looked unconvinced. You're doing the quiet thing again. He almost laughed. After dinner, she disappeared into her room. The father stayed at the table. Eventually, he took the card out again. Read it. Looked toward the garage. He didn't believe in mysterious messages, but he believed in details, and one detail bothered him, the billionaire, not the mocking, not the offer, the moment after his assistant whispered something, that expression. Too fast, too controlled, like recognition. He stood, walked into the garage, closed the door, turned on the overhead light. The old sedan sat exactly where he left it. He walked around it slowly, opened the driver's door, sat down. The interior smelled familiar. Years of use, repairs, long drives. He looked under the dashboard. Nothing obvious. Wires, panels, dust. He grabbed a flashlight, checked again. Still nothing. He removed one lower cover. Nothing. He leaned farther, then stopped. There, a screw. Different age. Different wear. Not original. He stared at it. That shouldn't be there. He grabbed tools, removed the panel slowly. Nothing dramatic happened. No hidden briefcase. No gold. Just an inner compartment, factory looking, but unusual. His expression changed. He reached inside, empty, except a metal plate, small, attached with two rivets. He wiped dust away. Numbers, stamped, serial, not matching the car. He checked again. No, definitely not matching. He sat back, silent. He knew enough about cars to understand something immediately. Cars have identities, and identities usually don't disagree with themselves. He removed the plate carefully, looked closer. Older manufacturing style, different coding format. His phone came out. He searched. Nothing. He tried another variation. Nothing again. His daughter's voice appeared behind him. Are you fixing secrets? He turned. She stood in the doorway wearing socks and holding her stuffed rabbit. He smiled. Go sleep. She walked over anyway, looked under the dashboard. Was something hiding? He hesitated, then showed her the plate. She looked disappointed. That's boring. He laughed quietly. She pointed. What if it's treasure? He shook his head. No treasure. She looked at the car, then suddenly said, I forgot. He looked at her. What? She opened the passenger door, reached underneath, pulled out a tiny folded paper. He frowned. Where did that come from? She shrugged. I put crayons there once. He opened it. One sentence typed. Check the original purchase record. He stared. She stared. She whispered dramatically, okay. Now it's treasure. His smile disappeared, because that wasn't funny anymore. 2 messages, 2 places. Someone had access. Someone knew the car. Someone wanted him looking, not buying, not selling, looking. That night after she slept, he opened an old metal storage box. Documents, receipts, manuals, service records. The car had belonged to his father before him, and before that someone else. He found the original purchase folder. Thin, too thin. Inside registration copies, transfer forms, basic records, then one receipt. He froze. Date, decades old, dealer name, vehicle description. But something was wrong. Model code, different. He checked the car registration, checked again. Not the same. His eyes narrowed. He opened more records, more differences, small, easy to miss, but enough. Some point the identity changed, not illegally obvious, just shifted. His phone rang. Unknown number. He answered. Silence, then a calm voice. Have you checked under the dashboard? His expression hardened. Who is this? Pause. Then, don't sell. Click. Call ended. He immediately called back. Unavailable. He sat motionless. The garage suddenly felt smaller. Next morning, 3 missed calls. 2 unknown, 1 private. His daughter ate breakfast. She noticed. Friends. No, she thought. Enemies. He smiled. No, she pointed at his phone. Then mystery people. He didn't answer. By noon someone knocked. he opened. A man in a clean suit. Polite. Professional. No introduction. He handed over an envelope. Inside an offer. Cash. Immediate purchase. No inspection. No negotiation. Amount large enough to matter. Way larger than yesterday. The father looked up. Who sent this? The man smiled. Interested party. No, the man handed another card. If your answer changes, then left. His daughter looked at the number. Her eyes widened. Dad, he folded it. She whispered, people don't pay that for bad cars. He looked at her. No, they don't. That afternoon, another offer came. Higher than another. No inspections. No one asking condition. Only one question repeated. Has anyone looked under the dashboard? By evening, the father stopped answering. He returned to the garage. Opened old records again. Compared numbers. Cross-checked dates. Then he found it. One line, hidden in old handwriting. His father's writing. Short note. No explanation. Just never remove anything until someone asks for it. He stared. His father never talked like that. Never left strange notes. His daughter appeared quietly. She looked at the paper. Grandpa wrote that. He nodded. She sat beside him. Did Grandpa know? He looked at the car. Maybe. She leaned against him, then said softly, maybe he kept it because he wanted you to find it. He looked at her, then back at the dashboard. For the first time, he wasn't thinking about selling anymore. He was thinking about why so many people wanted him not to ask questions. His phone vibrated again. Unknown number. New message. Only one sentence. You have 6 days left before the auction houses hear about it. The father read the message 3 times. You have 6 days left before the auction houses hear about it. No name. No explanation. No demand. Just certainty. He locked the screen and placed the phone face down. His daughter was sitting cross-legged on the garage floor drawing the car with a blue crayon. She looked up. Bad news. He thought for a second. Strange news. She nodded. That answer seemed normal to her now. She added a giant spoiler to her drawing. He noticed, our car doesn't have that. She smiled. It does in the important version. He looked at her. Important version? She pointed at the real car, the version everybody suddenly wants. He looked away. Kids said things directly. Adults usually hide them. That night, he barely slept, not because of excitement, because none of it made sense. If this was a collector's piece, why had nobody noticed for years? If the billionaire recognized it immediately, why mock it publicly? And why keep pushing low offers instead of buying quietly? Questions kept multiplying. By morning, he made a decision. He wasn't selling privately, not yet. First, he needed answers. He took the day off. His daughter insisted on coming. Treasure investigations require teams, so she sat in the passenger seat holding snacks while he drove to an older part of the city. The dealership on the original paperwork no longer existed. The building had become storage units. He almost turned back. Then he noticed something, a tiny office nearby, old sign, automotive records. He parked. Inside sat an elderly man surrounded by shelves and paperwork. The father showed the receipt. The man adjusted his glasses, looked at the paper, then looked again. His expression changed slightly. Where did you get this? Family records. The man asked quietly, you still have the vehicle? The father didn't answer immediately. The old man noticed, then nodded. Smart. He disappeared into the back, returned with an old archive book, opened pages carefully. His finger stopped. The father leaned in. The entry matched the date, model, purchase, then handwritten annotation. The old man frowned. That's strange. What? He pointed. Vehicle record transferred. The father looked. Transferred. No destination. No reason. No follow-up. Blank. The old man looked at him. That usually doesn't happen. His daughter looked between them. Is blank bad? The old man smiled gently. Blank means someone forgot to finish the story. The father stared at the record. The old man lowered his voice. That model wasn't famous. He tapped another line. But this number. He stopped. The father waited. The old man looked around, then closed the book. Sorry. The father looked at him. Sorry. The man stood. I don't want involvement. The father stayed calm. You recognized something. The old man avoided eye contact. Then said quietly, if I were you. He looked directly at the father. I would not sell privately. Then he walked away. Outside, the daughter looked serious. She whispered, that means yes. The father looked at her. What? He knew. He didn't disagree. Back home, the first black SUV appeared, parked across the street, engine off. Nobody got out. By afternoon a second, then disappeared. No threats. No visits, just presence. His daughter noticed immediately. Your mystery friends are back. He smiled faintly, but he was watching too. That evening his phone rang. Private number. He answered. The voice was calm, professional. We'd like to make a revised offer. No pause. Then, you haven't heard the number. No, another pause. Then, do you know what you own? The father looked at the car. No, the caller said. That's dangerous. Click. Call ended. His daughter looked at him. Bad guys? He shook his head. No, she thought. Scared guys? That answer stayed in his head. Scared, not aggressive, not angry, scared. That night he sat alone in the garage, looking at the dashboard, the serial plate, his father's note. Then he noticed something, the handwriting. He brought out more old papers, compared. His father had underlined one word. Always, same style, same pressure. He checked the note again. Never remove anything until someone asks for it. His eyes stopped. Remove, not find, not sell. Remove, that meant his father knew something existed. The father leaned back slowly. His own father had kept this car for years. Worked ordinary jobs. Never sold it. Never mentioned anything. Why? His daughter appeared carrying a blanket. She wrapped it around his shoulders. He looked surprised. She shrugged. Detectives get cold. He smiled. Then she looked at the car and asked if Grandpa knew. Maybe he wanted you to wait. The father looked at her. Wait for what? She thought hard, then pointed toward the wall, for people to become weird. He laughed once, but she might not have been wrong. The next morning another envelope arrived. No sender. Inside, a printed contract. Confidential sale agreement. Blank buyer. Blank price. Only signature lines. Attached note. Name your number. He folded it, put it away. His daughter watched. You didn't even read it. He nodded. She smiled. That means now you're curious too. By afternoon, calls started coming from people he had never contacted, collectors, brokers, private buyers. Questions became more specific. One asked about condition, everyone asked about history. One caller accidentally said, has the authentication happened yet? Then disconnected immediately. Authentication. That word changed everything, because authentication means someone believes something already exists. Not speculation, recognition. That evening the billionaire appeared. Announcement. Cameras, one black car, one assistant. Security visible. The father opened the garage. The billionaire stood outside. Different energy now, still controlled, less theatrical. His eyes immediately went to the car. Not the father, not the house, the car. The billionaire smiled politely. Can we talk? The father nodded once. The daughter peeked from inside. The billionaire noticed her. His expression softened briefly, then disappeared. He looked at the father. I owe you an apology. The father said nothing. The billionaire continued. The event got carried away. Silence. Then, I'd like to make a serious offer. The father asked. For what? The billionaire looked at the car, the vehicle. The father nodded slowly. What changed? Small pause. The billionaire smiled. Research. The father asked. What did you find? The billionaire looked at him. Long silence, then smiled. That depends what you found. The father almost smiled. Interesting. The billionaire didn't know either. He only suspected. The father said quietly, it's not for sale. The billionaire's expression stayed calm. Everything has a number. The father looked at him. Not everything. Silence. Then the billionaire looked directly at the dashboard. Just once. Too fast. Then back. And that was enough. The father noticed. The billionaire noticed he noticed. Small mistake. The billionaire adjusted his jacket, then said, private sales disappear. The father asked, and public ones? The billionaire held eye contact. Public ones create problems. Then he turned to leave. Halfway to the car, the daughter stepped outside. She looked at him. He stopped. She asked quietly, why did you laugh at our car? The billionaire looked surprised. She continued, if you liked it. Long silence. He looked at her, then answered, because sometimes people show their cards too early. She frowned. I don't know cards. He looked at her, then said something strange. You will, and left. The father watched the black car disappear. His daughter looked up. He talks weird. The father nodded. She asked, do you think he's scared? He looked at the empty road, then said quietly, yes. That night he made the decision. No private meetings. No secret deals. No more envelopes. If people wanted it, they could stand in public, bid in public, lose in public. He opened his laptop, found a respected auction house, filled the form. Vehicle, history unknown, authentication pending, public listing requested. Submit. He clicked. Nothing happened for a second. Then confirmation. Request received. He closed the laptop. His daughter looked excited. Are we doing the big reveal? He smiled. Maybe. She grinned. Can I wear my lucky shoes? He laughed. Yes. His phone vibrated instantly. Unknown number. One message.no greeting.no explanation. Only you should not have done that. The message stayed on the screen for several seconds. You should not have done that. The father looked at it, locked the phone, set it down. His daughter watched from across the room. She pointed. That's not what people write when they're not worried. He looked at her. You think everybody's worried? She shook her head. No, then she pointed toward the garage. Only the people who want something. He looked at the car. Maybe she understood more than she realized. The next morning, the auction house called. Professional. Direct. They had reviewed the preliminary information. They wanted an in-person inspection. Immediately. The father agreed. The appointment was set for the next day. No public listing yet. First verification. The day passed quietly, too quietly. No Black Sue versus .no envelopes .no calls. That silence felt stranger than pressure. His daughter packed snacks. Big days require supplies. He smiled. That night, he sat alone in the garage again, not studying the dashboard this time, just looking at the car. Same faded paint, same worn steering wheel, years of ordinary life, school pickups, work, repairs, long drives, his father driving, then him. Nothing about it looked like millions, and somehow that felt important. He remembered the billionaire's words. Private sales disappear, public ones create problems. That didn't sound like advice, that sounded like experience. Morning came. The drive to the auction facility felt strangely normal. His daughter sat quietly for once. Halfway there she asked, if they say it's nothing, will you be sad? He thought, then answered honestly. No. She looked surprised. Really? He nodded. It's still our car. She smiled. Good answer. The auction building was modern, clean, professional. People moved quickly. No spectacle. No cameras. Just process. A specialist met them. Introductions, paperwork, vehicle intake. The father handed over documents. The specialist flipped through them, stopped, looked at the old receipt, looked again. His expression changed. Small, controlled, but noticeable. The father noticed. The specialist noticed he noticed. He smiled professionally. We'll begin. The car disappeared behind inspection doors. Hours passed. His daughter built towers from brochures. The father drank bad coffee. Eventually, a second specialist arrived, then a third. Nobody explained. One of them asked, can we speak privately? The father nodded. His daughter came too. Nobody argued. Inside a conference room, the specialists placed documents on the table. Photos, scans, numbers. One specialist spoke carefully. We're not ready to publish conclusions. The father nodded. The man continued. But your vehicle appears to contain components that do not belong to its registered identity. The father stayed silent. The specialist continued. Those components match a limited historical production lineage. Silence. His daughter raised her hand. Everyone looked. She asked, is that rich person language for important? One specialist smiled. Yes. She nodded. Okay. Another specialist spoke. We need additional authentication. The father asked, how long? The answer came. Not long. Then the oldest specialist slid one paper forward, a preliminary valuation range. The father looked again, didn't react. The specialists watched him. His daughter leaned over. Her eyes widened. She whispered, that's too many zeros. The father quietly folded the paper. No expression. One specialist asked, you seem calm. He looked at the man. I still drove it here. The room went quiet. By evening, the auction house called back. Authentication accepted. Public event approved. Official estimate released. The number spread fast, too fast. Messages exploded. Calls returned. People who ignored him now wanted meetings. News pages started posting. Collectors reacted. Forums argued. Speculation everywhere. The father ignored all of it. His daughter only cared about one thing. Do I get auction clothes? Auction day arrived. The building was full. Media, collectors, industry people, people who laughed 7 days ago. Now they spoke quietly. The father arrived in the same clothes he always wore. His daughter wore lucky shoes. They entered. Heads turned. Nobody laughed. Interesting how fast value changes voices. Backstage staff prepared. The vehicle waited under lights. Still looked ordinary. Still looked tired. Still looked like itself. The daughter walked around it. Touched the hood. Don't be nervous. He smiled. The auction started. Items sold. Numbers climbed. Energy built. Then their lot. Lights shifted. Silence spread. The old sedan rolled forward. The room watched. The auctioneer began. Short introduction. History, authentication, discovery, opening bid, 8 million. A sound moved through the room, not shock, recognition. Hands rose immediately. 8, 8, 2, 8, 5, 9, 10. The father sat still. His daughter counted with fingers. People competed. Phones came out. Assistants moved. Numbers climbed. Then movement at the back. Doors opened. The billionaire entered. No cameras. No entrance. Just walked in. Everyone noticed. He sat. No expression. Bidding continued. 11, 11, 5, 12. Then the billionaire raised his paddle. Silence. New number. People reacted. The father looked once. The billionaire looked back. No smiled. No arrogance. Just focus. Bidding continued. Another collector. Another jump. The billionaire answered. Again. Again. The daughter whispered. He came. The father nodded. She looked at him. Is he trying to win? The father watched quietly, then answered. No. She frowned. What then? He looked toward the billionaire. He's trying not to lose. Bidding slowed. One by one people dropped. Final two. The billionaire. One private collector. Back and forth. Then final bid. 8 million became more. Then done. Hammer. Sold. Applause. Noise. Phones. Movement. The room exploded. The father sat quietly. His daughter looked at him, then hugged him suddenly, not because of money. Just because everybody looked different now. People approached. Congratulations. Questions, offers, interviews. He declined. Then the auction host approached, holding an envelope. Someone asked us to give you this after the result. No name. The father opened it. One card. One sentence. You finally looked. Nothing else. He turned it over. Blank. His daughter leaned closer. That mystery person writes short. He laughed, then looked across the room. The billionaire was standing near the exit, watching. The father walked over. No crowd followed. They stopped a few feet apart. The billionaire looked at him, then said quietly, I offered more privately. The father nodded. I know. The billionaire looked toward the car, then back. You know why I mocked it? The father looked at him. The billionaire smiled once, small, not arrogant. Because I recognized enough to become curious. Pause. His eyes moved toward the crowd, and once crowds become curious. He shrugged. Prices stopped belonging to people. Silence. Then he looked at the father. You waited? The father asked. You knew. The billionaire smiled. No, then I suspected. He looked toward the daughter. She stared back. He smiled slightly, then said, She noticed before everybody. The daughter answered immediately. You were acting weird. For the first time the billionaire laughed. Short, real. Then he nodded once and left. No drama. No final speech. Just gone. The father stood there quietly. His daughter held his hand. She looked up. So, he looked at her. She asked, Can we keep one piece? He smiled, thought for a second, then reached into his pocket, pulled out the old metal cereal plate, placed it in her hand. She smiled immediately, like that mattered more than the sale. Then a staff member hurried over. Sir, he turned. The man held another sealed envelope. This arrived after closing. The father opened it. Inside a formal offer, not for the car, for him. A blank contract. No amount filled in. Only one line printed at the bottom. We're not interested in what you found. We're interested in how you ignored everyone and found it anyway.